the complete firefighter in the sort of all-asbestos suit that can be found at any RAF station.
A kit contains the asbestos waterproofing compound and all other necessary materials.
Asbestos and World War II. During World War II, asbestos consumption skyrocketed. Asbestos was used in an amazing amount of essential war material. It was used in shipbuilding, where its corrosion-resistant and insulating properties made it perfect for use with pipes and boiler systems. It was also astonishingly used in filters for many gas masks. To truly illustrate how naive the world was to the dangers of asbestos during the war era, this is the 1939 production of The Wizard of Oz. And that's not snow gently falling on their faces. Yes, it's the miracle fiber asbestos. Ray Bolger, who played Scarecrow, died of bladder cancer in 1986, one of the several cancers linked to asbestos exposure, though this could of course have been coincidental. Asbestos has a mixed history, and a history during the war of both saving lives and taking lives. Asbestos is a naturally occurring fibrous silicate mineral. Asbestos is most commonly found in three rock types: serpentinites, altered ultramafic rocks, and some mafic rocks. Though there are a whole host of rock types that can contain asbestos, and asbestos can take different shapes and colors. Contributing to asbestos formation is the faulting and fracturing of host rocks by water, followed by these rocks drying up, creating a matrix for asbestos to grow. As asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral, it has historically been used for thousands of years, worked into ancient cloth, pottery, or wicks for lamps and candles. Asbestos production exploded during the Industrial Revolution and the Age of Steam, when steam engines and ships used the material for heat shielding and fireproofing. In the 19th century, asbestos no doubt saved thousands of lives, as it was built into roofing and siding during a time when fire was a major hazard for cities. As demand grew, naturally so did the need to mine asbestos on a more industrial scale, which led to more obvious signs of its toxicity. In the late 19th century and early 20th century, large mines in Russia, Canada, and Rhodesia reported workers with serious lung issues. But the industry was worth significant money, and world production tripled from 1900 to 1910. In 1942, when America ramped up its wartime production, the United States was consuming 60% of the world's production of asbestos, about double what it was consuming 5 years earlier. Even during the lead-up to war, nations began stockpiling the critical mineral for fear of supply disruption. Asbestos was used in wartime torpedoes and rockets. Even army hospitals might carry asbestos bandages. Military equipment, such as hot barrels from a machine gun or cannon, were changed by men wearing asbestos gloves. These German soldiers are using asbestos pads placed just over their winter mittens. During the war, fireproof clothing of all kinds was made from asbestos for anyone handling dangerous material or fighting fires. Civilians in Britain were even given asbestos snuffers to cover incendiaries dropped from German bombers. Even oil and fuel tanks could receive their own asbestos coats to keep them at a safe temperature. It was a rare thing for a soldier to go a day without exposure to asbestos. These giant tubs here contain asbestos paste, which was used to effectively waterproof vehicles. The majority of occasional exposures like these were safe. It was the inhaling of asbestos that killed, either by causing mesothelioma, a type of cancer that commonly develops in the lining of the lungs and chest wall, or by asbestosis, the long-term scarring of the lungs from inhalation of asbestos fibers. Those who were critically exposed to these diseases were those mining asbestos and those doing day-to-day construction using the material. Thousands of tons of asbestos were used on thousands of miles of piping put into the ships of World War II. About 4.3 million people worked in American shipyards during the war. Out of every 1,000 of these workers, about 14 died of mesothelioma, and an unknown number died of asbestosis. It took a long time before the dangers of asbestos were properly investigated. Even in the 1950s, you could buy cigarettes with asbestos filters, or even toothpaste with asbestos used as an abrasive.
Smoke a carton of Kent without switching. Then when your taste buds have become clear and alive, try your old brand and see for yourself how much you prefer the mild, kind taste of Kent. Remember, your taste buds will tell you why.
One of the worst types of asbestos, crocidolite, is particularly fine, which makes it both the best filter and most hazardous to the lungs. It was used in some cigarettes and some gas masks. After the war, asbestos was still a popular product. It did have amazing qualities for construction, and its use didn't peak until 1973. The dangers of asbestos were frequently covered up by the industry, which was paying for many of the safety studies. Furthermore, asbestos-related diseases sometimes take decades to manifest. Alright, I'm Johnny. I hope the video was interesting for you, and maybe cured some nostalgia for the past. If the video left you breathless, make sure to like and subscribe so you can belong to the channel. We'll see you next time, and have a nice rest of your day.